Hi, my name is Marek Tupy, and this is my game ARKitects. It is a polyomino game for 2 to 5 players that has a playtime of roughly 20 minutes per player. In this game, you are sailing the recently flooded world, salvaging wreckage to make a multi-level habitat for humanity's last survivors. You will also recruit barges that give you powerful abilities and race for goals that award bonus tiles. The player who builds the most habitable ark earns the most survival points and wins the game. So here we have the game set up for 5 players, and each player begins the game with a arc tile and 1 oil, which is the currency of the game. You also get a reference card which reminds you of scoring and turn structure. So on your turn, you will move your arc 1 or more ocean boards clockwise, and you'll have to pay 1 oil for each ocean board you skip over. So I skip this one, I would need to pay 1 oil into this bay here. When you end your movement, you're going to do one of 3 possible actions. Take a tile, recruit a barge, or gather oil from the bay. When you take a tile, the tile will cost oil equal to the number of tiles covering it. So this tile has no tiles covering it, so it costs no oil. This one costs 1, 2, and so on. And this oil is put into the bay. So when you take a tile, you will add it to your arc. And tiles are made up of scoring squares, which are these colored squares. And there are 4 different types: sails, gardens, fortifications, and water tanks. And they score you points in different ways depending on their arrangement. And the brown squares are foundations, which you are going to put future tiles on top of. So you can add it adjacent to any existing tile, or if you want to go up, you can put it on top of foundation squares, like so. Whenever you cover one of these beds with a tile, these represent survivors, and this represents you sheltering them from the elements. They are going to award you with 1 oil. So I covered 3 there, I get 3 oil. Oil is stored on barges, and each barge can hold up to 3 oil, so if you want to expand your capacity there, you're going to have to recruit more barges. So that leads me to the second action, which is to recruit a barge. A barge costs 6 oil, minus 1 for each square adjacent to it when you place it. So for instance, if I placed it here, I would have to pay 6 minus 1, 2, 3. Barges are quite powerful in that they allow you to hold more oil, they give you points at the end of the game, and they give you a powerful ability. So this barge here allows me to pay 1 oil to move counterclockwise instead of being forced to move clockwise. And there are 30 different barges in the game. Lastly, on your turn, you can gather oil that has accumulated in the bay. You're going to take all that oil, put it on your barges, and then you can also load up to 2 oil barrels from your barges onto your arc. And this will just improve the foundation of your arc, making it easier to build upward. So when your turn is over, play passes to the next player, and so on. But additionally, if you ever complete a goal on your turn, so things such as have 2 size 5 tiles or 2 of each scoring square, then you immediately get to take one of these tiles and add it to your arc. And there are 4 goals, and you can complete each goal once, and you can complete multiple of them on your turn. The game will end when this stack of savior tiles is depleted, and one of these is taken whenever a player takes the final tile on any given ocean board. Then they take the tile, add it to their arc, and it becomes whatever scoring square it is pointing at. So this becomes a sail in this case. And then that ocean board is replenished with tiles. So at the end of the game, you're going to score your arc, and I have an example here. You're going to score points for each barge you have based on the number written on it. Some barges give you endgame points, like your starting barge, which gives you 1 point for every 2 oil you have left over. Then you're going to score all the scoring squares, 2 points for each water tank. Each garden scores points based on the garden surrounding it. Sails score points based on their height, and fortifications make paths, and everything around the path will earn points. Lastly, you're going to lose points for each survivor that is exposed to the elements, so you want to try to get those covered up before the end of the game. So that was a quick overview of ARKitects, a polyomino game for 2 to 5 players about making a floating arc for the last people on Earth. Thanks for watching.